Post Malone.
From a failed guitarist to one of the biggest rock stars on the planet, this is the incredible story of Post Malone. In this video, we'll look at the surprising, shocking, and hopefully inspiring details of his rise to fame. It's 2010, and the metal band Crown the Empire needs a guitarist. They audition people from all around Texas, and a goofy 15-year-old kid named Austin steps forth. He shows incredible passion with his guitar playing, but embarrassingly breaks one of his strings, and sadly fails the audition. 10 years on, that goofy kid is now Post Malone, one of the biggest selling artists of all time. This is his story. Austin Richard Post was born on the 4th of July, 1995. He's of Polish, Scottish, and English descent, and grew up in Syracuse, New York. But at the age of 9, moved to Texas when his dad got a job working for the Dallas Cowboys. You could say music was in the genes too, as his father was a big music fan and sometimes worked as a DJ. His stepmom also introduced him to a number of genres of music, including rock, country, and perhaps most importantly of all, hip-hop. But rock was Malone's first love. He became a huge fan of the video game Guitar Hero and then switched to playing the actual guitar. At 15, he auditioned for Crown the Empire and failed. But that did not stop him by any means. At 16, he started writing his own music and created a mixtape named Young and After Them Riches. He did this by using the audio editor Audacity, which, as many music makers will know, is the best audio editing software you can get for free. He was also part of the metal group Ashley's Arrival, and you can find some videos of him online rocking out while headbanging his hair back and forth. After school, Malone's musical career wasn't exactly kicking off. He had to face the real world and work at Chicken Express. Even back then, he was trying to live the rapper's lifestyle. He spent $800 of his hard-earned money on Versace slippers. He also attended community college for a while. While studying, he also became a wedding DJ. This helped him become more aware of what music was popular at the time and make some extra money from his love of music. But this wasn't enough for Post. He soon dropped out of college. His passion for music was proving too much, and he needed to chase his dream. It was now or never. He moved to Los Angeles with his longtime friend, Jason Probst. Far from the glamorous life he leads today, Malone was freeloading in the house and sleeping in the closet. So where did he get the name Post Malone? Well, his surname is Post, and the Malone part came from an online rap name generator. You simply type in your name and it gives you a randomized rap name. This is also how the famous actor and musician Donald Glover got the name for Childish Gambino. Once in LA, Post, Probst, and several other producers started making music under the name Blackbird. This was taken incredibly seriously, and a number of members all lived in the same house together in the San Fernando Valley. At this house, he met FKai first and Rex Kudo, both of who would be pivotal in his success. In February 2015, he recorded the song White Iverson, which got its name from basketball player Allen Iverson. The song exploded on SoundCloud. It eventually garnered more and more hits, but particularly blew up when it was shared by rapper Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller. Within a month, White Iverson had 1 million hits. Record labels got wind of this new rapper and wanted to sign him up. Eventually, he signed with Republic Records. Through gigging, he met his future girlfriend, Ashlyn Diaz, who worked as a music promoter. Soon after, Post got to work with Young Thug and 50 Cent, who was one of his idols from an early age. He was then invited to perform at Kylie Jenner's 18th birthday. Luckily for Post, Kylie's sister Kim was in a relationship with a certain person named Kanye West, who liked his music and also wanted to collaborate. Post appeared on Kanye's 2016 single Fade. Malone was very much rooted in the hip-hop world by then, but any fans of his music will know that he refuses to be pigeonholed as a hip-hop artist. In 2016, he also befriended Justin Bieber and soon opened for him during his Purpose World Tour. It was on June 9th, 2016 that Post made his national television debut. He performed his song Go Flex on Jimmy Kimmel Live. But Post's preference to switch genres had its consequences. He's believed to have been considered for the 2016 XXL freshman list. This is a famous list by the magazine XXL, which showcases which rappers are going to blow up every year. In 2016, the list contained Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, Anderson .Paak, and 21 Savage. XXL said, "We were told by his camp that he wasn't paying attention to hip-hop so much, he was going in more of a rock-pop country direction." At the end of 2016, Post released his first album, Stoney. It contained hits such as Congratulations, featuring Quavo, I Fall Apart, and Deja Vu, which featured Justin Bieber. Despite the commercial acclaim, Post wasn't happy with this album and described it as mediocre. Many people disagreed. The album even broke Michael Jackson's record for the most weeks spent on the Billboard top R&B and hip-hop charts. It remained on the charts for 77 weeks, which was a week longer than Thriller. But music can be a cruel industry. So many rappers today hit big and then get swallowed up, and we never hear from them again. Post was determined to make this next album much better and maintain his success. He didn't want to be flavor of the month. He wanted to be an artist with a long-lasting career. In 2017, he released Rockstar, one of his most iconic songs. This was also a song that dealt with the new life Post was now leading, the one of a rock star. White Iverson was all about how he's not rich yet, but Rockstar was him reaching his goal. He had become a rock star and was loving it. 2018 proved to be a defining year for Post. In April, he released his second album, Beerbongs Bentleys, which is now considered one of the most iconic albums of the 2010s. Broke the first-day streaming records on Spotify with 78.7 million streams worldwide. It went platinum after 4 days. The album contained 3 top 10 songs and 6 top 20 songs. It was also the year when many of his iconic tattoos were added. He has barbed wire across his hairline. Underneath his eyes, he has the phrase "always tired" scrolled across. The phrase "stay away" is also written above his right eyebrow. Other tattoos of Malone's include one of Bob Dylan, who was a huge musical inspiration. He also has a tattoo of John F. Kennedy, who Malone believes was the only one to speak out against government corruption. On his collarbone is a Dallas Cowboys football helmet. There are 78 identifiable tattoos on his body, and knowing Post, a lot more to come. When asked about all the tattoos, Post told GQ, "It does maybe come from a place of insecurity to where I don't like how I look, so I'm going to put something cool on there so I can look at myself and say, 'You look cool, kid,' and have a modicum of self-confidence when it comes to my appearance." Judging by his strong female fan base, Malone has certainly nothing to worry about in that department. The singer was not without his critics, though. Malone is often called culture vulture. Many look at Malone's success cynically, viewing him as a privileged white person appropriating hip-hop which originated from black culture. Responding to this criticism, Malone said, "There's a lot of people that wanted to talk down on me and laugh at me and call me a culture vulture and say I don't appreciate hip-hop and I don't do nothing for the culture. So I guess this is me telling y'all to live your best life. Don't listen to what the F nobody has to say about you because you are the effing shit and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do if you believe in your fucking self." Malone was on the top of the world at this stage. Things you could argue could not be going any better for Post, but something unexpected happened. He had a near-death experience. In August, Post Malone was flying a plane from Teterboro Airport, which was scheduled to land in Luton Airport near London. In an interview with Billboard, he said, "We took off and there was a sensor malfunction up front, so we had to turn around and land again. Second time we took off, we heard this big-ass pop, and we were like, what the hell is that?" Then the flight attendant told them that one of the wheels had popped and told him not to panic. Then she told him that they had too much fuel to land, so hard to circle around for 3 or 4 hours. Only after landing did he realize that the wing had blown in half. Post had avoided death, but one of his friends was not so lucky. In September 2018, Mac Miller died from an accidental overdose. Miller had helped Post become the artist he is today, and they had worked on a single only a few weeks earlier. They had become good friends, and Post and Mac had actually planned a collaborative album together. The news came as a huge and terrifying shock. Speaking to Zane Lowe, Post explained, "We were at an Airbnb in LA and all of a sudden the TV turned on, and on the TV, news of Miller's death wouldn't stop. We tried disconnecting it and all this," he said. "What an incredible, honestly, what a genuine human being." Later in the fall is roughly when Malone broke up with his long-term girlfriend, Ashlyn Diaz. It's assumed that his incredibly busy schedule was at least partially behind the couple splitting up. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, he stated, "It's tough having a balance between dedicating my life to music and dedicating time for Ashlyn." Music helped Malone keep going. In 2019, he released his third album, Hollywood's Bleeding. He had become one of the biggest rappers in the world, but the teenager inside him wanted him to rock out. To the shock and surprise of music fans across the world, Post got Ozzy Osbourne to appear on the album. Finally, Post had made music that his dad could also listen to. Hollywood's Bleeding was another home run for Malone. The album debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200. It was his second US number 1 album. He was also enjoying life and was revealed to be dating model Kano Shimpo towards the end of the year. While 2020 was an uneventful year for musicians, Malone still got a lot done. In May 2020, he branched out and released his own rosé wine. This sold out of its initial pre-sale of 50,000 bottles in 48 hours. During the lockdown, Malone decided to post his own live stream of him performing Nirvana covers. With Nirvana fans highly skeptical, Malone somehow pulled it off. He even received praise from Nirvana's former bassist, Chris Novoselic. Most importantly of all, he raised $700,000 for relief efforts during the pandemic. Malone's next album was in June 2022 with 12 Carat Toothache. Like previous projects, he worked with both rappers and non-hip-hop oriented musicians. Indie band Fleet Foxes were the big surprise this time. Other big names such as The Weeknd, Doja Cat, and Gunna also feature. Today, Post Malone has a net worth of $30 million. He owns a $3 million house outside Salt Lake City, Utah, and owns a $3 million Bugatti Chiron. His residence is 13,000 square feet and situated on 7 acres of land. As we mentioned earlier, Malone has a John F. Kennedy tattoo because he stood up to government corruption. He is incredibly suspicious of the U.S. government and believes he can turn this home into an apocalypse-proof shelter if the government ever implements martial law. Apparently, the house in Utah has 30 bunk beds for his friends and family in case something happens. He apparently isn't a great cook, as he reportedly spent $40,000 on the food delivery service Postmates in the year of 2018 alone. They even call him Postmates Malone. 2022 is another pivotal year for Post Malone outside of music. Malone actually revealed that after all the ups and downs of his career, he's finally happy. He announced that he is expecting his first child with his girlfriend. The lucky lady Post is currently going out with is very much a secret, and as someone Post has tried to keep away from the spotlight. The singer told TMZ, "I'm excited for this next chapter in my life. I'm the happiest I've ever been. And for since I could remember I was sad. Time to take care of my body and my family and friends." Here's wishing every success for Post in the future, and hopefully we get to hear more and more of his genre-bending music in the future. And that just brings us to the end of our video. We've seen Post Malone work with everyone from Doja Cat to Ozzy Osbourne. But who would you like to see him work with in the future? Let us know in the comments below.